Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jake from TNJ, and welcome back to the Denver Bears franchise. 59-32 here to start season number 6, closing in on that game number 100 this season. We have the best record in baseball. You hear the home run music because we start out this episode at the All-Star break and the Home Run Derby. Or one of our own, Eugenio Suarez, will play in this game, hitting .243 this year, but 25 home runs, and having a pretty good year on base percentage-wise, .329. Obviously not his best, but still a very good year from him, still hitting the ball hard and well. He is declining, though, at age 34. We'll see what happens at the end of this year. I don't know if we will end up bringing him back just because of his age, but I am enjoying the ride while we have him here. Now, Suarez has 376 career home runs, which is a pretty good MLB career, and we'll see what he can do here in the Home Run Derby. So in the first round, he faces Yordan Alvarez, last year's champion, as he goes deep to left field for his first home run, and that will get him on the board. 1 minute rounds here as we want to keep it interesting. Here's a pitch over the middle. That one's absolutely crushed. That one goes to the second deck. The next pitch goes up into the third deck. That one is gone. 4-12 to straight left field. 20 seconds to go. We only need one. Here's a deep fly ball, and that one will stay in the yard. 10 seconds remaining. This one's crushed. Deep left center, and it gets into the bullpen. That will be a round one victory here for Suarez. Now, last time we were here, we could not finish the job with Castanera. We'll see if we can get further. We move on to round number 2 as the 4 seed. We will face Austin Meadows, who is the 8th seed here. He hits 5 home runs in the second round. So we get up here for our second at-bat here in this home run derby. Here is Suarez getting going early in 2 straight pitches, 2 straight home runs to left field. 369 off of the bat that time. Suarez absolutely gets into this one. That one's got carry. 437 into the third deck up there. 4th pitch. This one's deep to center field. That one's gone. 27 seconds to go. We have a lot of time left. Suarez fouls that one off, but kind of takes his time to get back into the box there. You can just see that was like 10 seconds that went off the clock. And that pitch is up and in, and he does not get good one on it. 10 seconds remaining. This one's low. A liner to center field. One more swing. This one's lifted. Deep to left field. Doesn't have enough legs. And it is off the wall. What a way to end our home run derby. I don't know what Suarez was doing, taking his time on that foul ball, and he just kind of lollygagged. That one could have been a whole nother swing. Instead, Austin Meadows goes on to the next round, and he actually goes on and wins as the 8th seed in the home run derby, and he ends up taking home the trophy. If you were a betting man, you would not have bet on Austin Meadows that time, but he does end up winning it. You know, that's always a fun time. We got to win one of those, though. So we head into the All-Star game, and you can just see right here in the NL, no Denver Bears starters. Can you believe this? We have the best record in baseball, no starter in the All-Star game. But we do have one of our subscriber prospects who is officially at the MLB level as of 2 years ago, having a great season, is the starter on the NL, James Prestrecki Jr. We saw him get traded to the Pirates. But then we do have an all-star bid from Jordan Hicks for the 3rd straight season. He's having a career year. This is his best year yet. 1.95 ERA, 1.22 whip. He has been absolutely amazing. But looking at the rest of the NL, we have no other all-stars. How does this happen? You have the best record in baseball and only one all-star, and that one all-star is your closer. I have no idea how that went down. Well, so he only gets a pitch here in the 8th inning with Jordan Hicks, and he comes into this game 4-4, and he gives up a fly ball deep to right field right away, and a leadoff double here in the 8th as this game is coming down to the wire. Amin Rosario to the plate. He's an all-star this year, hitting .293. This one's deep to center field. This one will get to the wall. And Jordan Hicks gives up 2 straight hits. Bellinger comes in with the throw, but the throw home will not be in time. So the AL take the lead off of the Denver Bears' very own. And now here we go. Still no outs in this inning, and finally we get a strikeout that time on Randy Arozarena. And now that brings up Rowdy Tellez to the plate. This one is deep to right field, but it will just be a fly ball. But it looks like the runner will stay at second, as now there's 2 outs. Let's see if we can get the last out here, as that brings up Corey Lee, the catcher for the Houston Astros. And that one is hit down the left field line. 2 runs will come in to score here in the 8th inning, as Jordan Hicks gets absolutely rocked in his All-Star Game debut. I guess not debut, but All-Star Game appearance here, as we do get the next batter to strike out. But wow, Jordan Hicks came in and blew that game. Got to admit it. 6-4 loss here for the NL, as the AL take home this game. Corey Lee gets player of the game after going 2 for 4. And, well, we lose that game. We don't have a good home run derby, to be honest with you. And you know what? I don't care. Our team is doing good. That's all that matters. We have the best record in baseball. Now, one all-star snub was Jesse Winker. He hit .312, had a .403 on-base percentage, and 18 home runs in the first half. I have no idea how he did not make the all-star game. Luis Arias in his first year is hitting .270, .347 on-base percentage. Looking at C.J. Abrams, he's there as well, .256 average. He's getting up there as it starts to climb. He was hitting pretty poorly to begin with, but now it's up there. And then you see Michael Papierski's hitting .242. But one guy I'm really, really worried about is Rafael Marchand. Coming off of that injury, remember last year, he hit about .270, had an on-base percentage of about .380. And now he's hitting .184, not having the season that we wanted him to have. Well, we're approaching the trade deadline, and we got to start asking some questions. Do we add to this depth and maybe even acquire one guy to put us over the top? And Corey Seager is there, hitting .267 at this point. He's on the last year of a $28 million deal. He signed with the Cubs back in season number 1's offseason. He's already been there 5 seasons, and he's going to be a free agent next year. He's an option to go after at the trade deadline too. But one guy I do want to go after is a catcher, and seeing the struggles of Marchand, I definitely need some help there. Papierski's doing pretty good, but I still like Marchand better than Papierski, even though Papierski is hitting better than Marchand this year. He is coming off of an injury, so I will give him kind of a break. But I look at the Texas Rangers, I almost said the Houston Texans, and they have 3 catchers who are pretty good. And I wouldn't mind going after either one of these guys. So I decide to go after their 3rd guy, who is Chris Stewart. He is pretty good. He actually has a player quirk of excelling at getting base hits, so I really like that. We decide to give them back a replacement catcher, Max McDowell, and then Kyle Naroth, who is a 22-year-old starting pitcher. We have a lot of pitching prospects right now, so it doesn't really matter giving up a guy like this to add to the depth at catcher. And I think this is a good move. Add Chris Stewart, a guy that can get a lot of base hits. We're going to need it in the playoffs because, man, that's one thing we struggled with last year is sometimes we just couldn't get on base. We're definitely going to need that in our playoff run this year. So we will execute that trade and we move on to Will Benson, who we talked about a couple of episodes ago. A lot of you guys said that we should change his batting stance, so I will change it to a more upright batting stance, one that doesn't look as awkward. So I'd change to Jake Fox. You guys wanted me to change it to Griffey, but I'm like, no, leave Griffey the legend alone. And then we have Ramel Cofer coming off of the injured list pretty soon in 10 days, so I can't wait for that as we make our second half run right now. We will face the Seattle Mariners, who are still rebuilding. And remember, we acquired Ramel Cofer from the Mariners. I bet you they are definitely regretting trading Cofer way too early. So here is Will Benson with his new batting stance. I just want to check it out here in this game as he does ground out to first base. Will Benson we signed to a 5-year deal 2 seasons ago. So he is on the 2nd year of that deal. But he has been nothing but disappointing at the plate. You can just see here he hits the ball well, but he just doesn't hit the ball consistently. He's hitting below like 230 once again this year. He has been our project since season 1. We traded Trevor Story for him, and Will Benson just hasn't come around. He has that awesome arm in right field. There's no doubt about that. But you got to be thinking, is this going to be our future at right field? And we did sign him. He's going to be making about $6 million a year. So I think we just have some question marks there in right field. He is an awesome fielder, but his hitting is kind of a liability. He started out the season great, but now he's kind of regressed back down to who he's been all along, and it hasn't really helped. The change in batting stance hasn't helped. Nothing has really helped. So now we go into a pitching matchup where Ramel Cofer does return 10 days later, and he will make his pitching return here versus the Los Angeles Angels. I love playing these AL versus NL matchups. We don't really highlight that too much in this series, so I thought it would be fun to do a matchup versus the Angels, who signed pretty much the whole MLB. They signed Aaron Judge. They have Anthony Rendon. They also have some good prospects like Kyron Paris, who's coming up from AAA. Did not hit well, but he's got great attributes. Then they have Jack Flaherty, who is their ace now. He is 6-6 on the year, 1.34 whip, 99 strikeouts to 39 walks. And they have an all-star cast in the field. So here we go. Let's see if we can get a win here on the road in Ramel Cofer's return. That is Benito Ozuna, who's hitting around 300. He flies out to right field. Luis Arias has got that average down a little bit to 257. He hits one well to center field, right on the screws, but it will just be a fly out to Joe Adell playing in center field today. Jesse Winker is hitting the ball extremely well. Should have been an all-star this year. He grounds out. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for the Bears. Joe Adell leads this Angels lineup off with a hard ground ball as Cofer does feel good after that pitch. Getting his first batter out. Welcome back from injury. Anthony Rendon at the plate, and there is where Will Benson shines. A diving catch that time. He actually jogged to it just to make a diving catch, as that brings up Mike Trout here with 2 outs, and he does get him to swing and miss at a low pitch in the dirt. Strike 3, and Ramel Cofer looks good versus his first 3 batters returning. Muhammad Willingham still doesn't have that average up. It's about at 237. He's hitting the ball kind of poorly, and I've kind of, put him in versus righties and lefties. Initially, it was just lefties, but he's just been very, very disappointing, and I will probably have to make a change if he cannot rectify his bat. That moves us to the 3rd inning, as here's Rafael Marchand, who is also struggling, which is a big reason why we did get Chris Stewart in trade. And that one will be a ground ball to 3rd as he just continues to swing a cold bat. Moving on to the 3rd inning, here is Cofer now. Hasn't gotten into much trouble so far. He gives up a hit up the middle to start out this inning. Here is Kyron Paris for his first at-bat at the major league level. He does walk, as that brings up the top of their lineup. Joe Adell at the plate. He hits one hard to 3rd base. This one is going to be a backhand throw to 2nd. It won a double play. Wow, versus a 93 speed Joe Adell, we turned that double play, and that is the benefit of having Luis Arias at 2nd base. He has a strong arm to get it there. Anthony Rendon comes to the plate, but he walks, as that brings up Mike Trout for his 2nd chance, with a chance to drive in a run. Inside fastball, he's just looking, strike 3, and Cofer looks good through the first 3 innings. On to the top of the 4th inning. This is Jesse Winker to the plate, 0 for 1 today, as he is still hitting over 300. The 2-2 pitch is on. Jack Flaherty throws a low ball, and that one will be crushed. That's a home run. Jesse Winker looking for that contract, his 21st of the season, and he makes it a 1-0 game here for the Denver Bears. I love what he's been for us, and I am leaning towards re-signing him, that's for sure. We're going to do everything we can to keep him around. 1-0 as we go into the bottom of the fourth inning. Here is Aaron Judge, who signed with the Angels in the offseason last year. He does hit a ball up the middle as they no longer have Shohei Ohtani. They traded him to the Royals in season number 1. As here's Ronald Guzman, who hits one deep. That one is almost gone. 1-2 pitch now, outside curveball. That one will be low. 2-2 pitches on, and Guzman straightens this one up, and that one is to the left of the foul pole. It is a home run. Ronald Guzman with his 11th of the year. That one was absolutely crushed, and it will be a 2-1 game here for the Angels. Nico Horner to the plate now, who moved over from the Cubs, and now he will ground out to third base. 2-1 game going into the fifth. Muhammad Willingham at the plate. He just continues to struggle. That time it was a late swing, and he will fly out to right field. As that brings up Zach Veen, who was kind of also struggling, but he still is doing decent, but kind of struggling a little bit. He hits one hard to the right side. 2 outs as that brings up Will Benson, and he is just watching the inside fastball. Strike 3. The Benson struggles continue. So on to the 6th inning. Here is a hit by pitch there that time, and that brings Benito Ozuna to first base. But here's Arias, who absolutely crushes one. Foul. Just foul of the pole, as now it is a 2-2 count. With Ozuna on first, he's always a threat to steal, but we will keep him here. And a low pitch in the dirt will get him chasing out of the 6th inning. Jake Flaherty's only hit given up so far has been to Jesse Winker. Speak of the devil, he comes to the plate now as he gets a low ball again, and he does stroke this one to right field. 2 for 3 in the game. The only 2 hits off of Flaherty have been from Winker, and that one will be a leadoff double here in the 7th inning. And the manager actually decides to pull Jake Flaherty. I am surprised. Jack Flaherty. Why do I keep saying Jake? As now Eric Swanson comes in from the bullpen. And he is having a decent year. 2.62 ERA. We'll see if he can get out of this jam. Eugenio Suarez comes to the plate. Hard ground ball to third. That one was thrown on to first with the quickness as that brings up Muhammad Willingham up to the plate. Up in the zone, and he just pulls that one, and it will bring 2 outs to this inning. Zach Veen, can he come through? Inside fastball, and now we have guys on first and second with the struggling Will Benson to the plate, and he swings that one low. Strike 3. And now we move on to the 9th inning. Our offense has struggled so far in this game. Luis Arias starts out this first at bat here in the top of the 9th. And this one will be a shallow fly ball, 1 out. Here is Suarez. He gets fooled with 2 outs. And this one will be a loss chalked up to the Denver Bears. 3-1. We only had 3 hits in this game. Wow. How about the Los Angeles Angels? I hope we face them, hopefully, in the eventual World Series this year. That would be a lot of fun. That lineup is pretty loaded. That would be a whole lot of fun to face in a 7-game series. Well, we continue to win, though. Even though we lost in that game, we lost in earlier games when we were doing the player spotlights. We're still 30 games over 500 at the 100-game mark. And you got to start thinking, do we go to the trade block and take a look at some of these guys, including Corey Seager, Eloy Jimenez, guys like even our former third baseman and Ryan McMahon? They're all available. Do we go after somebody at the end of this month and really pick somebody up to put us over the top? I'm thinking we do. It's probably going to be between Ryan McMahon and Corey Seager. Corey Seager's contract, $28 million, is only for this year, so taking that on would not be a big hit. We'd be paying him probably half of that salary, even though technically we would be paying all of it in this game. But it's halfway through the season. It would only be about $13 million left on that if you do the math. So we'll see. I don't know who to go after here. Do we bring back the former Rocky, or do we bring in Corey Seager, who lit us up in the playoffs? We'll see next episode. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.